What's up guys? This video is going to be a review on the FA Skateboard Deck. I got this idea from a comment from Sparko. I'll put his comment right here. That's what this video is, just a full review on this board, what I like about it, what I didn't like about it, do I recommend it, and how it was. FA boards are really expensive, from 100 to 180 Australian dollars, which equals between 64 and 116 US dollars. Which is actually a lot of money for a skateboard deck, but I got mine on sale for about $80–90, so I think I got that really good. For the review, I'm going to firstly start off with the shape of the board. I really enjoyed this shape. Honestly, one of my favorite shapes that I've ever ridden. Has a very square nose, as you can see. I'll put my girl board up next to it. You can see how the FA board is more like a shovel, very square, and the girl board actually tapers like a triangle more. However, this one here is quite a good square. So I got my FA board in size 8, as usual for all my boards. The nose is very square, however the tail is still very round. It squares out a bit at the top, but it's still very round. So the tail of this FA board is sort of like the nose of the girl board. Nose square as fuck. The nose of these boards is really steep. And then the tail is quite flat like your usual board. But having a really steep nose is really good because when you do nollies, you get that angle, which is what you need when you do a nollie, so your back foot can catch it really good. And having a steep nose is also really good because when you pop off of the tail, your foot actually has something to catch on and bring the board like that. So I find that my ollies come up steeper and then they level out better with such a big squared out nose. The concave on this board is very flat. The best board that I could compare the concave to is a Baker board. Next we'll talk about pop, because the pop on these is so good and the nose being so steep means that I can level out my ollies really nicely. Honestly, I think this beats out the original answer of girl boards. I always thought girl boards had the best pop, but I'm starting to think that this board here had so much more pop than any other board I've ever ridden. And you guys probably think I'm glazing FA boards, but this shit was so good. I'm honestly thinking about getting another one if they weren't so expensive. One of the cons for this board though is that it took me a long time to get used to. Having such a square and steep nose, it took me like a week and a half, 2 weeks to just fully adjust to this board because it's so different from anything else. And I don't know what the exact dimensions are, I just know the width is 8. I'm not sure what the wheelbase and the overall length is, but if I can find them, I'll put them on screen probably just over here. And then lastly, to finish it off, would I recommend this board? Yeah, if you have the money, I would 100% recommend getting an FA board because they feel very different, but once you get used to it, holy shit, they are so good. And I think that'll just about do it for everything I had to talk about on this board. And that's about it, guys. And subscribe.
Yeah, I woke up this morning and went to go get my little chain.